First, you get rooted by connecting to community and supporting its growth. Then you feel inspired with uplifting meditations, breathwork, and behind-the-scenes magic. Next, you shine, voting on our channel's future content and unlocking intimate tarot-infused flows. And finally, you expand, growing your practice through one-on-one personalized private classes. This is what it means to be a part of the Rise Up community on Patreon. In gratitude, here's a free release from our Patreon library. Today's practice is inspired by the yoga concept of Dharma. Dharma is, what is my unique purpose in life? Contemplating Dharma can also bring up a lot of questions. Am I already living my Dharma? What is that exactly? How do I know if I'm on that path? So through today's practice, I invite you to put on a lens of curiosity. Your Dharma is yours to uncover and yours alone. So it's a very personal journey to you. I'd like to just start to open that door for you and bring you into a space that, again, you can be curious about, to explore, to play, and to uncover more depths about yourself. So you can come into a cross-legged seat. If you'd like to invite any props into your practice, if you have any yoga blocks or a yoga bolster, you're welcome to bring them over to your mat. We may or may not use them, but it's always nice to have them nearby, just in case. Once you come into a comfortable seated position with an upright spine, just start to allow your shoulders to shimmy out. Maybe take a few circles one way, and then the other. And then you can start to slow down your movement. Keep reaching up through the very crown of your head, so that flat part of your head at the top. You can gently close your eyelids, either partially or fully, so just find a nice supportive space. Start to take a few rounds of breath. You can exhale through your nose or your mouth, whatever you need in this moment. Can you be curious about how your breath interacts with your physical body, how your breath impacts your mind? Allowing yourself to really just slow down here. Now I invite you to contemplate why it is that you showed up on the mat today. Why is it that you show up for your yoga practice in general? Just start to connect to a sense of purpose and intention here in this very moment. I invite you to allow a little bit of curiosity to guide your practice, to open your mind, and to again open this avenue for inner exploration. On an inhale, reach your arms out wide, lift them up to the sky, palms kiss at the top. Exhale, hands can lower all the way to midline down to your heart. Roll your shoulders down your back. Inhale, arms lift up, option to keep your eyes closed or open. You can clasp your fingers together. Let them cradle your head as your elbows open wide and you take a look up. If your eyes are still softened closed, slowly start to let them flutter open. Notice where they fall to in your space. On an exhale, round through your back, bring your elbows inwards towards midline. Inhale, lift up and forwards. Exhale, take a little round inwards. Inhale, reach it up, heart opens. And exhale, round down. Inhale, go ahead and lift all the way up. Reach your hands towards the earth. And then we'll come into a wide-legged forward fold. Or wide-legged fold. So you'll reach your feet out to the side. Your knees can be bent or straight, whatever you'd like here. Just getting to a place where you can observe some different sensations in your body. Start to plant your palms on the earth. If you'd like to utilize any props, you can bring blocks under your knees. You can bring a bolster or a pillow out under your chest or just relax on, so you've got options. So even though we're stretching through the back line of the body, try to keep your shoulders and your back soft. Take a few more breaths in through the nose. And loving breaths out. And deep breath in. And nice big breath out. Next, inhale, keep extending out through your spine. So try to get a really long, straight spine from tailbone to crown of head. And then exhale, you can soften forwards just a little bit more. See where else you can release a bit of tension in your body, either in your quads, your shoulders, or jaw. On your next inhale, go ahead and lift your torso up. Right foot comes into your left thigh. Start to stretch out your left fingertips towards your ankle or your toes. Keep it to the inside of your left leg. On an inhale, right arm stretches up and over, right fingertips trying to reach over towards your toes, and just the intention of that movement. Keep allowing your right shoulder to fall down your back, so you're opening your heart space towards the sky. And so can you get curious about the purpose of keeping open and heart during our practice? On an inhale, go ahead and lift all the way up. Exhale, rotate your torso towards your left toes and then start to fall forwards, coming into this little forward fold on this leg. So starting to isolate one side of the body. Keep letting your chin fall towards your chest so you can find a nice relaxed neck. On your next inhale, gently lift all the way up, and we'll take it to the other side. So right leg out, left leg in. Right fingertips extend towards your toes, left fingertips reach all the way up and over. See if you can notice the sensation of a stretch from your left hip all the way to your fingers. So really reaching out through your full side body. On an inhale, gently lift all the way up. Exhale, you'll rotate your torso towards your toes so you can square off your hips there, and then start to melt it forwards towards your mat. So your right toes can still flex towards your face. And again, just be mindful about where your shoulders are in space. Noticing if they're more rounded forwards or if they can drop a little down your back. On your next inhale, start to lift your torso up. You can bring your legs back together. If you're not already facing towards the top of your mat, go ahead and make your way there. Start to bring your heels about under your knees. They can be a little bit forward, about hip-width distance. Your palms can rest under your shoulders, fingers reaching towards your toes. We're going to prepare for a reverse tabletop. So root down firmly into your heels, into your knuckles. On an inhale, lift your hips high. You can keep your gaze facing forwards for now as you just really engage out through your muscles of your legs. Continuing to squeeze your knees in towards midline. And then on an exhale, lower your hips all the way down. We'll do it one more time. So heels reach into the earth. Inhale, hips lift. This time, if it feels safe and supportive to do so in your body, you can start to let your head drop back just a bit. So you can either stay looking up towards the ceiling, or if you have the availability in your neck, letting your head drop a little further back to open up through your throat. Keep lifting your hips nice and high, really stretching out and strengthening through your deltoids and your shoulders. On an exhale, let your hips start to lower towards the earth. Softly bring your chin back in towards your chest. Go ahead and cross your legs. Option to swing forwards, or you can swing your legs out to either side. So we'll just meet in a little tabletop position with toes tucked. Start to bring your hips back towards your heels. Walk your hands towards your body. Start to flip your left hand so your fingertips are facing towards your body and you're pressing firmly into the top of that hand. Option to hang here in stillness or to take a few soft movements back and forth or finding a few circles, just gently massaging out your wrist. And reverse your direction of your circles if you're taking those. Slow down your movement and flip it back onto your left palm, then we'll take it to the other side. So reach your fingertips toward your body, hang in here in stillness, or again, finding those movements. As you contemplate your own unique Dharma, can we explore the same uniqueness and creativity on the mat? So we'll have variations of different poses and expressions. Go ahead and flip the direction of your circles if you haven't already. How can you make your practice unique to you? How can you really tune into that quiet inner voice and notice where it's guiding you? Go ahead and flip onto both of your palms now. We'll come into a toe squat. So we're already hanging out here. If you want to take your toe squat in a different variation, you can let your hands come all the way up onto your thighs, allowing your shoulder blades to relax down your back. Take a look forwards and find a little point of focus to bring your gaze towards. So either on the wall, on your yoga mat, or directly on the floor. On an inhale, extend your arms all the way over your head, big stretch. Exhale, this time clasp opposite hands together, bring them behind your head, and then open elbows wide and look up. Exhale, hands melt all the way to the earth, come back into tabletop, untuck your toes, and then just have a little fun dancing them on the mat. Now take it into a puppy. So knees directly below your hips, and then you'll start to walk your hands forwards, let your heart space pull towards the earth. You can either rest your chin or your forehead on the mat or even on a block. Or you can keep it lifted in the air. And so notice the beauty of your own practice and exploring where your body wants to move to in any given moment. Take a few breaths. And can you begin to get curious about our asana practice as well, so our physical movement practice? Can you begin to connect to a little deeper purpose behind just the physical movements? On an inhale, lift your torso all the way up, come into a tabletop position once more. Let your toes tuck, hover your knees off of the earth. Let's engage the core. So finding strength and stability in the full body here. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. On your next inhale, hips lift high, downward facing dog. You're always welcome to take down dog in a child's pose, in a puppy, something on your knees that feels supportive. So down dog or an alternate, yogi's choice. And take a few rounds of breath in your Adho Mukha Svanasana in order to find a little play and curiosity. Do your hips want to shake and shimmy? Do your toes or ankles want to find some play? Where does your head want to move to? You've got one more breath in this space. And then start to walk your feet all the way up towards your hands. You can walk, you can hop, just as long as we're all meeting in this forward fold Uttanasana at the top of our mats. Start to allow your chin to drop towards your chest, finding some sways to each side, inviting in a little fluidity into your body. And start to draw your awareness a little deeper towards your breath. Notice the fluidity of your breath in the space of your body and the space outside of your body. Start to invite a really deep bend into your knees. On an inhale, we'll lift all the way up. As you reach up, let's take a few circles with the shoulders once more. And then reverse. Allow your arms to drop by your side, fingertips reaching towards the earth. Inhale, arms lift all the way overhead. Coming into Urdhva Hastasana. On an exhale, melt it all the way forwards. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, take it into downward facing dog. On your next inhale, travel your right foot forward between your hands, let it plant firmly there, and then start to press your pelvis towards the earth as you open your heart space forwards. On an exhale, let your knee kiss the earth. Inhale, lift your knee up. Press back into your heel, take a look down towards your mat. Exhale, lower your knee, open your heart forwards, take a look forwards. Next inhale, hips lift, heel reaches back, gaze takes it down towards the yoga mat. Next exhale, drop your left knee. This time we'll hang out here, and then you can start to walk your right foot to the side of the mat, heel in, toe out, coming into a little lizard. Palms can plant on the mat, and then option to walk your left leg back in space, just opening out through your hips. You have a few variations for your lizard, so either hanging out here, firmly rooted into your palms and the top of your foot, or you can start to roll onto the outer edge of your right foot, take a look over towards the right side, so we're finding this opening through the outside of the hip, finding a nice twist in the spine. Or if you feel like you have the space to come on down to your forearms, you're welcome to explore there. Take a moment to tune into your why. And start to walk your right foot all the way back towards center of your mat. Bring your hands to frame your foot and then start to rotate your left toes off the right side of your mat. Go ahead and walk your hands all the way towards the back of your mat. You're going to straighten out through your right leg, press your left palm into the mat, and then reach your right arm up to the sky. If you have any more space to really extend out through your left or your right leg, press into the outer edge of your right foot. We're inviting in this deep stretch to the side of the body. Maybe take a look up to the sky. Meet your gaze with your palm. On an exhale, press your torso all the way up. Bring your arms parallel and take a look over towards your right fingertips. On an exhale, let your right fingertips trace down towards the earth. Left fingertips lift high. Take a look up, getting that nice rotation of your neck. On an exhale, bring your palms out in front of you, so as if they're sort of under your shoulders. Bend out through your right knee, point your right toes towards the top of the mat, and then rotate your whole body. So your hips, your heart space, and your left foot will rotate towards the top of your mat. You can start to bring a block in front of you if you'd like to use it for our next little exploration. Start to tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, walk even your left foot a little bit further forward towards the top of your mat. We're going to play with a standing splits. So if you're using your block, you can bring it out in front of you, otherwise fingertips can meet the earth. On an inhale, left heel lifts to the sky. Keep firmly pressing into your right foot so you create a little extra space in your hips. From here, start to bring your forehead towards your knee. If you want an extra balance challenge, fly your hands off of the earth, maybe grab your calf or your ankle. Now, if you're finding challenge in this, then you can just play with lifting your left toes off the earth a little bit at a time. Put on that lens of curiosity, even though at first it can feel maybe a little overwhelming, especially if it's something new. So just allow yourself to take one step at a time. Invite in some good feelings here. You've got one more breath to explore, to play, to move through challenge. And then on an exhale, start to draw your left foot beside your right, come into a forward fold. You can shift your block off to the side for now. Deep bend through your knees. Inhale, we rise. Lift it all the way up, arms outstretched overhead. On an exhale, clasp your hands together. Bring them all the way down towards your heart. Let your thumb rest on your sternum, your shoulders drop down your back. Just take a few rounds of breath in this space. Option 2, softly close your eyes. Let's take a moment, stillness. Any exhales through your mouth, you're welcome to take. Notice sensations in body and mind. Any frustration, discomfort, confusion, uncertainty. That's okay. And just notice. And slowly start to let your eyelids flutter open. Lift your arms all the way over your head, and then on an exhale, we'll melt it to forward fold. Inhale, lift it halfway. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, downward facing dog, 2 breaths. And let your next inhale take your left foot forwards. If you need to use your left hand to kind of shimmy it forward, you have that support. Start to drop your pelvis towards the earth. Keep your knee lifted and loop your heart space forward. So really open through your hips, through your heart and shoulders. On an exhale, let your right knee fall towards the earth. Inhale, lift your knee. Go ahead and take a look down towards your mat. Press into your back heel. On an exhale, right knee lowers, heart opens forwards, even coming onto the very tips of your fingers. On an exhale, heart space lowers, back knee lifts. Press into your heels, see if you can invite in that stretch into your ankle and your calf. Exhale, lower your right knee, open your heart. And then you can start to walk your left leg over towards the left side of your mat. Take it into a pigeon or a lizard, other animal. And keep pressing into your palms and your knuckles. Your left foot can either stay flat or you can rotate onto the edge of it. Take that nice twist in your spine. You've got a few breaths to just explore. Now start to walk your left foot all the way back towards center of your mat. Rotate your right toes off the left side of your mat, and we'll prep for this side. So your hands walk all the way to the right side of your mat, taking your right palm to the very back of your mat. Extend out your left leg as much as you can, and then lift your left arm up to the sky. So really opening through your wingspan, maybe even feeling it a little bit in your armpit. And then start to let your left fingertips trace all the way over, so inviting in this deeper curve to the left side of your body. Notice if you prefer to look down towards the earth or up to the sky. Start to draw your ribs together, prepping to lift up on your inhale, and palms parallel to the earth. Bring your left fingertips towards your left leg, right fingertips lift overhead. Can you invite a bit of ease into some of this movement? Can you invite ease with your breath? On an exhale, bring your palms to rest on the earth in front of your shoulders. Bend through your left knee, toes point towards the mat, and then start to rotate your body towards the top of your mat, coming into this low lunge. And we'll prep for our balancing pose. So if you have your block and you want to invite it on your mat, now's the time. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee, and hop your foot a little bit closer towards your left. Get a nice, strong, sturdy foundation in your left foot, in your left leg, so that on your inhale, as you reach your right heel to the sky, you feel supported in your lower body. Now start to draw your heart space, your forehead towards your leg. And again, just notice where you're at in your balance experience, whether you're meeting yourself, dipping your toes up and down on the mat, knowing that every little extra moment of balance, you're inviting a bit more learning into your body. Can you stay curious, open, and playful, even if this feels really challenging to you in this moment? One more breath. Lift your heel just a little bit higher. And exhale, let your right foot come all the way down to your left. Shift your block off to the side. Start to walk your feet about as wide as your mat, so heels will be in, toes slightly out. We're coming into a Malasana, so if you have your block and you would like to use it, just bring it under your hands. From here, on an exhale, start to lower your hips to the earth. Let your heart space open forwards. And then you can play with your hips dropping even closer towards the earth. So either without your block, like so, or you can bring your block under your hips for a little extra support. Let your palms meet at your heart. Let your thumbs rest on your sternum. If you have availability to reach your elbows to the insides of your thighs, press firmly into your thighs, get that slightly deeper stretch. Long breath in. And big sigh out. Let it go. Deep breath in. And big breath out. Bring your palms beneath you on an inhale. Lift your hips up to the sky. Bring your feet back towards center. Come to the top of your mat in your forward fold. On an inhale, lift halfway. On an exhale, let your palms plant. Your knees can walk back. Take it into a tabletop position. Reach your hips down towards your heels and find your way to the top of your mat. Reach your hands around your shins. Inhale, lift the crown of your head to the sky. Let your shoulders drop behind you. On an exhale, lower all the way to the mat. Rock your knees in towards your chest. Lift your heels up towards the sky. Take a few points and flexes of your toes. Maybe taking a few circles here as well. Reach your arms up, your fingertips towards your toes. Take a few circles with your wrists. And then reverse your circles. And gently let your arms relax to the earth. Let the soles of your feet meet the mat. Bring the soles of your feet together. Knees can open wide. Coming into a Supta Konasana. Option to let your arms rest by your side, or one hand to heart, one hand to belly. Take a few big breaths here. If you need some extra support under your knees, you're welcome to place any blocks, blankets, or bolsters to invite in back to your practice. Slowly let your knees reach in towards your chest. Right leg out long, left knee in to meet you. And come into a supine twist. So left knee over your body, out, stretch your arms to the side, take a look over towards your left palm. You can either cactus your arm or you can extend your fingers fully out. Inhale, reach it back to center. Cross or switch your legs, right knee in, left leg out long. On an exhale, dive it over to the left with your right knee and then open your right arm wide. Inhale, go ahead and meet back at center, knees into your chest. And then just last thing here, let's take a few circles with the knees, massaging out through your back and your hips. And reverse your circles. Let the soles of your feet meet the earth. Stretch your legs out in front of you and rest your arms by your side, coming into your Shavasana. Take a nice big exhale through your mouth. As you take that exhale, let your shoulders relax. Let your ankles and your toes soften. Let the muscles of your legs start to just gently release their grip. Finding that same cooling sensation in your upper body and your hands. Where else can you relax? Where can you soften? And then letting go of any of that tension in your head and your jaw and your mind and your thoughts. Just let go. Notice what feelings this exploration of purpose is bringing up for you. Sometimes exploring purpose or a new experience can feel challenging. It can feel overwhelming. You can get lost along the way or feel lost along the way or find yourself in self-doubt or uncertainty, but just know those are all parts of the practice. Noticing that if these feelings or experiences arise on or off of your yoga mat, then you can really use them as opportunities for growth and to dive even deeper into your purpose, into your why. Know you're not alone on your journey either. And start to gently move out through your fingers and your toes. Stretch your arms all the way over your head. Any loving, explorative, curious movements that you want to bring into this moment. And then choose a side to roll onto. Take it into fetal position. Of course, if fetal position doesn't feel right for your body, you can always just rock forward into a seated position. But taking a little moment here to rest on your side can be an exploration of itself. On an inhale, gently press your torso all the way up. Come into a cozy seat. Let your palms meet your thighs either face down or face up. If you're familiar with any mudras and you'd like to take any of those, you are totally welcome to. Take a few more breaths before you bounce off your yoga mat into your day or your evening ahead. Can you just take this moment for yourself, not rushing, not forcing, just being in moment. Purposeful stillness. Intentional breath. You can let your palms meet at your heart, or you can bring them to third eye center. So whichever feels more intuitive or feels more purposeful to you in this moment. Thank you, thank you, thank you for showing up, for flowing and moving with the Rise Up community. You are loved, you are seen, and you are purpose. Much love. Namaste.